Jai Hind to all the citizens and residents of India. Today we are observing the 73rd Republic Day of India. This is the day when the Constitution of India was adopted after India's long struggle for independence. Firstly, the Indian flag was unfurled on this day by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and this gave the birth to the Indian Republic. During this year, we are also celebrating the 75th year of our independence and observing the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav across the country. The essential component of this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is to connect the youth of our country to our rich cultural heritage. While celebrating the Republic Day, we need to understand the meaning of the term republic. What is a republic? Republic is a country which has a government elected by the people and which has an elected leader. Although India is said to be a republic on 26 January 1950, however, there were examples of presence of republics in our ancient India also. The Buddhist literary sources provide information on the republican state of Lichavis. Similarly, even in our Vedas, there is a description of republics. In the Vedic literature, there were republics consisting of people sabhas, whose membership consisted of people from distinguished backgrounds and which allowed people from every walks of the society to participate. The main aspect of our constitution are the fundamental rights given to us by our constitution and the role of the state in promoting the welfare of the people as mentioned in our directive principles of state policy. We all know about our rights, but we also should know about certain fundamental duties that are mentioned in our constitution and that are essential for the betterment of our nation. Today, I want to elaborate on those duties. One important aspect of our fundamental duty is to cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. What were these ideas? They were the ideas of oneness among the people, support to locally made products, having pride in a diverse culture, renouncing of exploitative traditional practices, developing a scientific temper, and others. Similarly, there is another duty to promote harmony and spirit of common brotherhood among all the people of India. Thus, all of us are required to work towards building communal harmony between different religions and castes of India. In police, it is our responsibility to protect the weaker sections from the atrocities of the well-off of the society. Special laws like the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act have been passed in this regard. As citizens, we should never fall in the trap of communal polarization and try to build a narrative of national brotherhood under which everyone is an Indian before being a part of any other community based on religion, caste, or any creed. Similarly, it is our duty to eradicate practices derogatory to the dignity of the women. In 21st century, the participation of women in the workforce has increased manifold. However, women of our nation face incidences of sexual harassment and violence at workplace. They face several challenges from the side of the family as well as from the society, which creates hurdle for their free participation in their professional life. The youth of the nation needs to make the atmosphere of a country better for the working of the women. We need to stop objectifying women in our popular culture, in our advertisement, in our songs, and in our dance practices. Objectification of women is a modern form of exploiting them. We need to see them as human beings and not as a source of consumption. Similarly, one of our fundamental duty is to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual or collective activity so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. Our nation will progress only when we as its citizens will progress in terms of our education and work. I see many people who lead an average life with no higher aim or purpose in life. Rather, many of us also have certain aims which may lead to the failure of the country. This needs to change. As young people, we need to have a higher aim in our life which is grounded in truth and our national values. Our life should be continuously directed towards that higher aim. Working towards that purpose would be our service to the nation. For example, you may be from any field. For example, if you are a space scientist, you would be serving the nation by being an excellent space scientist. A civil servant would be serving the nation by doing his work with integrity and efficiency. A businessman is serving the country if he follows ethical market practices along with innovative techniques. Similarly, people from any walk of life who is doing a work grounded in truth and our Indian values would be doing a service to the country. Similarly, we need to strive towards excellence in all our community-based programs. The programs for community education and community health benefiting the weaker sections should be professionally designed in order to achieve the desired results. Just and honest implementation of various schemes of the government is a service that is given by the government servants, members of the civil society, and political leaders towards nation building. At present, we are fighting against the rapid spread of the worldwide coronavirus pandemic. As a nation, we have shown solidarity in saving the lives of people from COVID-19. People of all fields, may that be from healthcare, police, sanitary workers, municipal administration, revenue administration, businessmen, civil societies, students, teachers, scientists, and so on, have played a significant role in proving that our country can stand tall against any disaster. When we all work together towards nation building or saving it, no wave can stop the progress of a nation. Thus, I urge the youth of the country to keep the feeling of nationalism alive in their minds while doing their work and leading their lives. I would once again wish all of you a very happy Republic Day. Jai Hind.